Good evening and welcome to the September 12, 2016 meeting of the Board of Public Works. First on the agenda, we'll approve the minutes of August 29, 2016.
Motion to approve the minutes, August 29, 2016.
Second.
Made and seconded. All those in favor?
I was just reading through something very quickly. I was making a note to Kathy. It was about a comment I made on the last meeting, so I wanted to just verify it was worded correctly, that's all.
Okay.
I just need a moment just to read through it. That's it.
Mr. Conlon.
He's
Trying to read it.
reading it
Just
right
wanted
now.
to make sure it was
He
worded.
just wants to make sure what he said is
Yeah, it was on page 9 of the minutes with the, in response to the remote vote. The second paragraph from the bottom where it says, Mr. Lucy, I'm not going to make a judgment. I didn't want to say I wasn't going to make a judgment. What I said was, I don't have an issue with a remote vote in the event of a hardship. So I wanted to make a maximum of 3 votes per board member consecutively that a board member could use. And then anything beyond that would have to be, a vote. And once again, in the event of like an illness in the family or a death or something long-term, family member death or anything like that, paternity, maternity, things like that. So I just wanted to word it along those lines.
Okay, well, we haven't voted on that as of yet.
No, I understand, but that's in the
Just the
minutes, and we're
minutes, yeah.
approving the minutes. So
Okay, so
it's just worded a little differently than I wanted to.
so let's just table. You want to table the minutes?
No, we can make a motion to approve the minutes with the verbiage change
Yeah.
to what he just said.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
We're good then, we don't have to take.
Yeah, that's it. Then we
That's
don't
good.
have
Move
to-
forward.
Yeah, I'm good with
Yeah,
that.
that's it. Okay.
And
Can you make that motion? Can you make that? You mind if you make
Well, I
that
just
motion?
did.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll second that motion.
Okay.
All those in favor of that motion? Good. I'll be in favor of that.
And I can
Yeah.
rewrite that up when we're all done.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll rewrite it.
Beautiful.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
Sounds great.
everybody's going to come back up.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks. Alrighty, 6 o'clock appointment is Robert Foster regarding the Fairhaven Tennis Association CPC grant, Cushman Park. Good evening.
Good evening. Yeah, the reason I asked to be on the agenda, I'm the president of the Fairhaven Tennis Association, which is in our 10th year this year already, believe it or not. And over the last 9 years, we've been involved with repairing and repainting just about all the courts in town, except for the ones at Fort Phoenix. But we were the ones that kind of got Representative Strauss on the job there. The state did those over last year. But Hastings, we've done Hastings actually twice, working with the school department. And the problem with tennis courts in this area is you get a lot of cracks. The last 2 winters, did a job on the courts at Cushman. Cushman Park courts were last done in 2011. In that year, we went for an article at the town meeting. This was before the CPC grants included recreation as an option. And the town meeting gave us $7,500, and the Tennis Association put up $15,800. And we got those courts all done. They really came out nice. But now you get about 900 feet of cracks again. And they widened out over this past winter. You know, in the winter, the snow melts, it gets in there, then it freezes, and cracks expand. And it's an ongoing thing. But we've got a few companies that do a great job with it. We did, if you remember, 2 years ago, we did Libsey Park. Was the first CPC grant we went for. And we put in for it. Your board gave us permission, and we did the basketball courts, the tennis courts, and the rink. And it came out great. So what we're looking for is your permission for us to go for a CPC grant again. And we'll do all the work, we'll do all the legwork, and we're going to also propose to the CPC committee that we'll put $7,500 toward the project. It's probably around a $25,000 project. I got an estimate from one company that's done work for us before, and it's probably about the ballpark. We'll put up about a third of the money.
Thank you. Any comment from the board?
I would just like to say that Mr. Foster has been doing this for numerous years, and he's not really just going for the tennis courts. He's going for the basketball courts, also which other people play. And He's doing an excellent job with his association. They're gonna give $7,500 towards the thing. I mean, how can we go wrong with this?
Anybody else?
I live across from Livesey Park, so I saw when they resurfaced. It looks great. It really does.
All right, well, is there a motion?
Motion to allow the Haven Tennis Association to apply for a CPC grant in the amount of $17,500.
It'll probably be about, oh, yeah,
Estimated.
yeah, right.
Second.
Made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service to the
You're
town.
welcome. Yep.
Yes.
We enjoyed it. Thank you.
That's what we need, more people to take care, support the town, volunteers.
All right. 6:10. See, we're ahead. 6:10 appointments, interviews for the treatment plant operator. There are two folks here. Why don't we take, why don't we ask Victor first to come up, Victor Olivera. Please have a seat in one of the red chairs, Victor. And tell us who you are for the record and what you're looking to do, and why you think it should be you.
Hi, my name is Victor Olivera. I work at the sewer plant. I've been working at the sewer plant for 8 years now. Prior to that, was working in the highway. I'm applying for the operator's position. Right now, I'm a maintenance craftsman. I've been doing a lot for the sewer department. I cover West Island. I cover the lab. Last year when we had the nitrogen removal test, I was working the lab. Also covering West Island. But this is the step up, and that's what I'm looking for.
All righty, well, thank you. Who has questions they have of this young man?
I think both candidates are very well qualified, and it'd be a tough choice between the two, but I think I might have to go with the seniority thing. That's just my opinion.
Okay. Yes, Ms. Watt.
I just want to question, who's Linda recommending?
Linda and Rainey recommended Matt Mansell.
Yes, Mr. Lawrence.
What grade license is required for this position?
Grade 5, I believe.
You hold it?
Yes, I hold grade 5, yes.
You do as well?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's all I have.
Mr. Lucian.
Just trying to review both at the same time. So, you said you've been with the sewer for how long?
Sewer about 8 years,
8?
and 2 years with the highway, and 1 year with the water.
Okay. 2010 you started sewer? Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's about 6 years, correct? Am I math wrong on that one?
No, I think you math pretty
Okay,
good.
6 years, okay. 6 years of sewer, okay. And obviously, promotion, increase in pay,
Yeah.
reasons for moving up. And you hold the license, you said, no, I have no questions, that's it?
All right, I don't have any questions either at this time. I thank you for representing yourself, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Matt Manzone, why don't you have a seat here, please, for the record, tell us who you are, why you think the job should be yours, and if I might say before I have you that, I think that after we talk with this young man, I'm not sure I want to, there are some things I'd like to talk about, I think, afterwards with the board. So maybe we'll not vote on which one we think unless somebody feels they have to right now. We do that later into the meeting.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead, sorry, sir.
My name is Matt Manzone. I've been working for the town for 12 years now. I've been with the sewer department for a little over 5 years. I feel that,
It's all right, relax.
yeah,
We love you.
Well, I'm looking for the advancement. I feel I'm ready
But
for the operator's position. I feel that I have Rainey and Linda's confidence in my abilities.
well said.
Basically, looking to do this for the next 30 years.
Excellent, well said. Mr. Watt, you have anything you want to say?
You said you hold a grade 5.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What do you currently do within the department right now?
I am a maintenance craftsman, but I also have been trained in the lab, wastewater treatment plant on West Island. I can run the treatment plant as well as the digester. I've filled in for the foreman quite a few times. So I can pretty much do that with ease, running that building.
What steps are you taking? Is there a grade 6 above the grade 5, or the next step for levels, or an advancement as far as the next license that you could maintain? What have you done, or what are you doing to obtain that next step within?
Well, I'm currently studying for the grade 6 as we speak.
Great. That's all I have.
Mr. Lucia?
Same thing, I mean, both candidates, they both seem qualified, and looking at the years of service, they're both from 2004, so they've been with the town. They both have the Title V license. I just want to refer the same questions to both of them. Are you going for the 6 as well after that?
I'll be studying.
Okay, all right.
No, that's really,
Ms. Hobson?
my question is, who really has the most seniority permanent? Mr. Passato.
We have that right.
I got the records here, if you want to see them.
They both started in 2004.
No, one's temporary, one's,
They were both temporary.
They're both temporary in 2004.
which, my only question is, that I don't want to get in a union pissing contest, if we appoint one and not the other.
Yeah, I mean, I could look up what their official.
I just want to know who was here permanently for the longest time? And who was permanent on the sewer department for the longest time? So I got two questions. Which one started permanent with the highway department? And then which one went to the sewer department and started permanent? Because we're dealing with two different unions here. Now, I don't want to give the job to one guy and then the union's going to step in and say another thing. Evidently, they're both qualified. That's not the question.
I see.
Right on this page,
I
man.
see. What
Yeah,
you're
well, it
saying.
looks like one,
I'm talking about, I'm not talking about summer help and.
right, well, they both started in 2004, with,
That's temporary.
right,
Yeah,
right.
temporary.
Who started first, full-time?
Looks like Matt became full-time in September of '05,
Okay.
and Vic became full-time in July of '05, both with the highway
Highway
department. Right.
And they can transfer their seniority to the sewer
Right,
department?
well, there's two types of seniority. There is the town seniority, and then there's the department
All right,
seniority.
Who was first on the sewer department?
So in the sewer department, Victor went in March of 2010, and Matt went to the sewer looks like in April of 2011.
So Victor has more seniority at the sewer department,
It looks like he has a year more in the sewer, yes.
and he has more seniority town-wise, too?
I think by a
For
month.
4 months or whatever.
Right, so he has more seniority in both
Mhm.
departments.
Mhm.
That's all I want to know.
All righty. I don't have any questions for you. Thanks for coming in. I know it was difficult for you. It'd be just as hard for me, trust me.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for coming. Appreciate
I think
it.
they're both good employees. so
I do too.
If we could get 2 jobs.
I wish I could get to it.
Should motion to table that?
Yeah, I'd like to motion to table it till later into the meeting. That's all right.
Motion to table the interviews for treatment plant operator towards the end of the meeting.
I'll second that. All those in favor?
I'd like to make a motion, we make a decision right now.
Well, you know, my motion that I made, his motion that he made just got voted on 3-1. If you
You
voted
didn't give me a
against.
chance to make a motion.
You have to vote on the first motion before you make a second
You gotta
motion.
vote on the first motion before you ever make a second motion. You can vote on the second motion now if you want. You made a motion to
Go forward.
go forward right now? I'll second it. All those in favor? All those opposed? Okay, so it gets put off a little bit later.
Okay.
Easy. Okay. Next, 6:30, I don't know, is Luciana Carrera here? Okay, so we'll skip over that to, how about Bernard Tessia? Please, have a seat right up here. Your lucky day. 6:40, you're ahead. We're getting you in and out.
We might leave before 9
Before I, this gentleman, I think, what, you know, he wants, if I might, please tell the board what this guy wants, although I know.
Okay, what he's looking to do, and please chime in, feel free. They're gonna do some, like in situ form, which is sewer lining, pipe work in front of the Royal on Main Street. And because the Royal,
The Royal, is,
it's a nursing home.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Nichols.
Nichols, yeah.
So they're gonna do some work here, and it's a little extenuating circumstance, because under normal situations, anyone who works in front of that works in the town layout, we require X number of things of them. What these folks are looking to do is, because they're not gonna be digging up the road, they wanna circumvent some of the drain laying process. So we asked them, and they agreed to come in front of the board, because I have no issue with them doing it, but I want the assurance that if they break a pipe in the middle of a street, that they're well aware that, I don't know if he has excavating capabilities, but they're gonna fix it, or they're gonna pay for a contractor to fix it. I don't want there to be a broken pipe in the middle of the street, and because he didn't go through the process, that they just walk away. So he was good enough to come in, and that's why he's here.
We've been lining for 16 years. We do a lot of work in the Boston area and Newton. In Boston requires a drain layers license, even though I don't want an excavator, I don't want a backhoe, I got a shovel. We don't do any digging. If something happened, that has never happened right in 16 years, I would have to hire an outside contractor to dig it. We're planning to do it from inside the building, lining, this line goes right into the manhole. So we're lining from the building into the manhole, no digging at all. It's a 6-inch line, 134 feet, something like that. And like I said, we're fully insured. Some towns require a bond, so if it's a bond, we get it. You know, we got a bond in Boston going to do it. Those are only 2 towns right now that requires a bond. But like I said, we got a very good reputation. If you look us up online, I gave you a good reference list of, you know, commercial property, towns that we've done work with. And like I said, we're very confident. We're probably the largest lateral liner company in New England. Not the largest as far as people-wise, but volume-wise. We've been doing it for 16 years.
Wonderful, well said. Ms. Lucy?
Is this that basically inflatable bladder that goes in the pipe, and then you pour that epoxy resin around it and it hardens?
No, we went out the bladder. I got a sample in the truck if you want it. But we went out the felt liner on our wet out trailer. Then we invert it with an air system. And we shoot it inside out. And we got a bladder on the inside to hold up the air. We'll steam cure it. It'll cure in about an hour and a half.
And you have a sample of the dried
Yes.
piece of
You
plastic?
want to see it?
Would anyone else? I'd like to see it. I don't know
Sure.
about anybody else.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll take you a minute.
Sure. By all means. By all means.
Thank you.
truck. There's business people working. I worked for 4 or 5 years a few years ago. I finished in Newton and Brookline, and I see those folks everywhere. There's a need for that, I think, because it's hard to dig in the street because you just can't block traffic off.
Yeah,
And there's so many old pipes up there.
I wish he gets back, but there was a company that did something similar at the school I work at, so I don't know if it was his company, so I'd like to ask him actually.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of knew what, like, I've never actually installed it, obviously. It's not really like a plumbing thing, but
Yeah. Yes.
it's pretty incredible.
What are they trying to do? It's basically, there's a broken pipe or
We line
potentially
them.
broken.
It's probably
That's
yeah,
what I'm trying to say.
That's the company that did it at my school. It was like they inflated it inside the pipe, and it was like an epoxy resin around it. And when it hardens, they deflate it and they take it out.
Right.
So it relines the inside the pipe. And the guy had a sample, and you could hit it with a hammer.
Yeah.
It wasn't breaking.
Yeah.
It was pretty durable.
Well, it's
Yeah.
good that we got you on the board, you know, the licensed plumber and the teacher and everything, so this is good.
Yeah, they do that with chimneys too.
I'm glad to see some young
Flutes.
people finally ran for the board.
Oh, yeah, young.
Yeah.
There's a couple.
That heart.
Look at
Yeah.
your life.
The line is wide, it's just a schedule 35 use for a sample.
Yeah.
If there's a hole in the pipe, you can see how the epoxy bleeds through
Yeah.
and locks it off.
That's the size of the pipe?
Did you,
That's a
have,
4
That's a
we're doing a 6.
did you happen to work at Southeastern Regional Look Tech in Easton? Someone did a job there a couple of years ago. I don't know if it was your company or not.
I think that's someone butchered. I think, is that because it was a water infiltration and
No, it was a sewer line.
so on?
Yeah, because they redid the cafeteria like 2 years before, and then the line let go. Instead of ripping up the whole cafeteria, they brought a company in, and that's why I knew that the
They brought a
diaphragm.
company out of New Jersey,
That's what it was.
and they called us in now to look at it.
Yeah,
It was butchered.
the second one that they did out in that courtyard, that
It
was
was butchered.
Yeah, you were outside in the dirt, right? You guys came in to look at that.
Well, we looked at the one in the courtyard,
Yeah,
and that was actually butchered.
they did one inside
Did
where
they?
it was a sewer drain
Yeah.
because it collapsed under a brand new remodeled
Yeah.
kitchen,
Yeah.
well, the cafeteria. But they relined that one, and I guess everything was fine. So we had them work there. They asked them to do the one in the courtyard, and I only heard rumors. I guess it didn't.
But we
go so-
can't,
I guess it
it
didn't go
was
so well.
absolutely butchered. They,
Yeah, the New Jersey company. That's what it was.
they didn't do what they were supposed to do.
All right, well, it's good to know that this is the man that came in to fix the problem.
Yeah.
You know?
We didn't fix it. The leak was on the high rise, on riser. I said, fix it right there. I said, what do you want us to line it for? The leak was actually in the stack.
Yeah, they welded it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, at least he diagnosed it.
Yeah.
It's good to know that you exist.
Yeah.
Well,
Because you run into future problems around town.
I tell you how I feel about this, that you know, when the folks come in and apply for the drain license, the permit license, the real thing that we really want it for is to get
Insurance.
the insurance, the bonds, you know? And so I think that if the man just gets this insurance company to send the bond over to us.
He already has. We already have.
Yeah.
Is that a bond to us?
We don't take bonds.
It's not a
Usually
bond,
you
it's
just take
certificate
your
of
insurance
insurance.
policy.
Okay, that's fine.
Good.
That's fine, I'm comfortable with
The
that.
only thing is if they happen to dig up the road, we don't take bonds, we take cash, not
Yeah.
$2,500.
We don't do
Yeah.
anything. If something happened,
cash.
I'm not counting on it happening because it hasn't ever happened. And we had, because we got equipment that, our line, if something went bad, we could kind of redo it. So I'm not really, I'd be very surprised if something did happen. But if it did, I would have to hire a contractor that the town works with to dig it.
Okay, that's
I
fine.
just don't see it happening.
But in the event that anything does happen, that we're saying responsibility falls solely on their company.
Correct.
All right.
We got a 50-year warranty on the liner. 50
So
years.
should we have something in writing?
And we could also give the town a video when it's done.
What about in the event, say you're relining a line and maybe there's a Y that goes off to a drain and you kind of bypass it and it blocks
We can
that
cut
out?
it.
You can cut it? Okay.
Yeah. We get the equipment to cut it.
All right, well, I'm ready for a motion.
Sounds really interesting.
Yeah.
Motion to allow New England Pipe Restoration to build a new drain layer. With, to sign something saying that in case the pipe does break, we will hire a contractor to fix it.
I'll second that motion. All those in favor?
Okay. And you guys, you can keep it if you want to sample it.
Yeah.
No,
That's pretty nice.
Give it to Benny.
He's a plumber, that's why he
How
asked.
big a pipe, how big a pipe can you do?
15.
Wow, that's what we should be doing.
Yeah. We're just starting with 15. We've been doing laterals up to 10 inch. The equipment just came in last week. We're up to 15 now. And we're gonna be using part of that steam because it's 134 feet. The equipment we had for steam cure was 100 feet. Now we can steam it for 500 feet, 1,000 feet now.
Now, I'm sure you probably get, what kind of a fraction of the cost is this compared to having to completely dig up and?
Depends on the location.
Yeah,
In my hometown where I live, Lumster, I probably two a year.
yeah,
Because they can dig it cheap. If you're on a lawn, I can't compete against them.
right.
If they're doing it a spot repair, I can't compete. Because it takes a 3-man crew for most of the day to do our job. So.
But if you had to dig up a main road with police
Main road,
detail and excavator and everything?
Yeah, that's where we work in Boston and Newton mostly, because you can't
You can't shut
dig
the
up a
roads
road, you know. In Boston, sometimes $5,000 just to get it permit.
Right.
Interesting.
Okay?
Very interesting.
Thank you.
And
Glad we met you.
also, so you know, I just want to tell you a little about it, what we do. We'll go in a 4-inch opening and clean out in most homes. And most homes are clear either 4 to 5 or 4 to 6. We'll flare it out and bond the whole pipe. So our lining, we order special, does a flare. So we can go in a 4-inch opening, flare it out to 5 or 6.
So you don't narrow down the drain, basically. is-
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay?
Excellent.
Thank you very much.
Good, thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody interested, we're doing it tomorrow. If you want to see it.
I might.
We'll be there 8 o'clock. Yeah, they're probably around noon time, but if you want to see the operation, you're more than welcome.
We'll send Vinnie down there.
Okay.
He wants to
And you guys want a video after we're done? Or you-
Yes, yes, we do
Yeah.
want to.
Boston and Newton requires it.
Yeah.
So we'll get you a video.
That's fine, sounds
Okay.
great.
Thank you very much.
All right,
Thanks so much.
Have a good evening.
You too.
Good salesman.
Now I see why you want to. Okay, I think that 6:30 appointment is here. Luciana Correa, please, regarding 27 Welcome Street, a driveway. Why don't you sit in one of the red chairs if you'd like, please, dear? This yours? Is this for you? Why don't you tell us what you want to do, although we know what you want to do, but...
Yeah, we want to do an exposed driveway, so we want to make sure that that's okay to use the same material over the apron area. So that's basically it.
When you say exposed, why don't you tell us exactly what you mean?
That's where he comes in.
Washed,
Yeah, it's an exposed aggregate
Yeah.
driveway. It is concrete.
Yeah.
So, I understand, like, we spoke to this lady, I forgot her name, sorry. Yeah, Kathy, we spoke to her last week. And she says, you know, the town wants the first 8 feet to be concrete,
yes.
which exposed aggregate is concrete, but she says because, like, for liability reasons, you know, if a plow or something like that and you damage it, she said, you know, we could sign a waiver, or we could come to the meeting and,
Yes.
you know, let you guys know. I mean, we're willing to sign a waiver, you know, whatever it may be.
I think we just did one of these at the last meeting or the meeting
We
before.
got a cobblestone, didn't we? one time?
We had a couple of some, but we had an exposed aggregate too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, the lady told me that they did one at
Church Street.
18 Church Street.
Church Street, I think she said.
yeah, we just, one of the contractors that does it came in, the last meeting or the meeting before. But anyhow, everything else, Vinnie, if I'm rather thing right, is okay. The only reason she's here is because of the type of material. Okay, so is there any
She's not going for extended size or nothing?
Nothing, no.
Okay, I'm good.
So basically, we will go into a motion to allow it, and that you just have to sign a waiver. If the truck or plow damages it and digs it up, you're responsible.
Sure.
We're not. So then basically, that's all it is.
Yeah.
So motion to approve the waiver for the exposed aggregate on 27 Welcome Street
Second.
with the waiver.
Made and seconded, all those in favor? Easy.
Thank you.
You're welcome, thank you. I'm sorry to make you have to come in for that.
Oh,
but
no
it's-
problem.
It's one of those things.
You're going
you
to
know.
the house from here, so.
There you go. You're all set to
Do
go.
I need to sign the waiver now, or?
No.
You see Kim tomorrow.
Yes.
You can sign it with him.
Okay, so come by tomorrow?
Yes.
What's that, on the
Okay.
west side of,
Sign for me.
I mean, the north side of Welcome Street?
Yeah, we take a left, right, there's
Yeah.
new subdivision there, yeah.
Okay.
So we're on that little
Yeah.
part of the street that goes nowhere,
Yeah.
so, so they usually don't plow it either, so maybe they will now that there's a house there.
We don't.
I don't know. You might have to come down on that.
Yeah, yeah.
Call
There
up.
might be another house there, because she's trying to sell that lot in the back, so.
Call up, we'll make sure that you're.
Well, this way the waiver's not required, right?
Yeah, yeah. You don't have to worry about it, because it doesn't get plowed, so.
All right, well, hey, thanks
All
for
right,
coming.
thank
All right,
you.
thanks a lot, Myra, thank you. Only here. Okay, we're gonna speak right now to, before we go to items for action, why don't we get back to our 6:10?
Oh, plant operator?
Yeah, so we have to open this back up again.
Oh,
No.
Okay. Alrighty, interview stream vent operator. I just wanted, I wanted some time for our brains to settle, let us settle into things. I understand about seniority, but I also know that if I were a supervisor in an area and I had two people that wanted a job working under my supervision, that if I had a preference, I'd really like to have the guy that I want to have, you know? And so my thinking in my mind is I would take the recommendations of the superintendent and the assistant, and that's the way I think I would vote. And I just wanted to say it that way so that now you know Hoppy obviously will want the seniority, we know that. And so however you want to vote, you vote. And but I wanted time to have it really settle in my head, make sure it's really what I wanted to do. And I think that's the way I feel about it. Yes, sir.
I want to tell you how I feel. I've been on the board for 9 years,
Yes.
and every time we go against seniority, somebody files a grievance,
Mhm.
and then we gotta go back. If we give this job to the most senior man, and he doesn't do a good job in 6 months, you can kick him back. But other than that, nothing against either one of them. I guess I can say I'm a union guy in a sense. I've been in unions, and I know how unions work, and I know how, I think they're both good qualified candidates, but if you go against the rules about seniority, it's gonna come back and haunt you.
Well, I don't think the rule, correct me if I'm wrong, the rule doesn't say we have to give it to the man with the most seniority, does it?
I believe it's senior most qualified. I could go.
Yes,
and
senior most
get
qualified.
that, but, I mean, if you choose the least senior man and the other gentleman decides to file a grievance, then we deal with it at that time.
Right.
But, I mean, I understand Audrey's point.
I certainly do myself as well.
But if you want me, I can go and get the rule and print it out real quick. if you
I
want.
just feel, here's how, and I'll say it again, and I understand what Hoppy's saying, and I understand it perfectly, and it's good, solid thinking. But my thinking is if I'm in charge of doing a job, I want the people doing it for me that I think are the best ones doing it for me, because that way I can get my job done right, and get it done the best. And that's just how I think. And so I know it's different than Mr. Hobson's, but you know what? Doesn't mean either one of us are right or wrong. So,
Can I comment on it?
please.
All right, just looking through these notes when I got them delivered, I'll call it candidate 1 and candidate 2. So,
Sure.
Candidate 1, the reason was I enjoy what I do. Working with wastewater, looking to further my career in this field, I'm always willing to learn new things. Very familiar with running the treatment plant as well as digestibility, and currently have grade 5 license and studying for grade 6. Candidate 2, increase in pay.
Great.
One seems very passionate and a little more detailed and a little more energetic and enthused about
Yes.
having this opportunity, and the other one just like, I want more money.
Great.
That's what stood out for me.
Yeah, well, it's good to say that because, I hadn't noticed that. So,
Ask another question.
I'm very open with this right now. We can take away the chairman part of this thing. This one particular thing, let's just talk about it, sure.
Which one has more sick time?
Information not given, so we can find out.
All right,
I touch base on this real quick.
by all means, right.
I looked at it the same exact way Jared did, and it was, and in my honest opinion, I don't know either one of those gentlemen.
Great.
What I did do was interview them in my head prior to coming here tonight, and I read their applications. And based on that is where I made my decision. And I also thought about the seniority. But if you look back at it, we're talking 3 months in hiring time difference from 10 plus years ago.
Right.
Okay, so in my mind, those guys were hired at the same exact time. Okay, you don't ask me what happened back in February 10 years ago, or what happened back in July 10 years ago. I'm not gonna remember which came first or second.
Great.
Temporary and permanent, you did bring up a good point, because I didn't notice that. Okay, that was a difference. So one was a summer help for for many years, but what have you. All I read on this application was increase in pay, and just a step up. That's all I saw on that. The other one, and that's why I asked the question, was because I didn't know who was who, Matt or Vic or whatever there. I wanted to find out which one, and I knew it by talking to him, that he was the one that said he was looking for the next step.
That's what he said.
And that's why I asked it, because I read it here, that he was studying for the next one.
Good job.
I'm looking for somebody that's willing to work harder to become, you know, a leader in that department, because that department is collapsing from within. And we need somebody that's gonna step up and take a stand there. And honestly, I don't care about the grievance with the union. They wanna come back in front of us, I'm dealing with them 2 other days this week. I'll deal with them then. If you're talking about 3 months in time, the seniority issues or this and that, I'm looking at the person that's looking to advance themselves in their career, not just looking for $1 more an hour.
Well said, thank you. I have to tell you that I like looking at a young guy that comes here and is a little nervous about being here under the spotlight. I view that as a person who's more apt to just put the blinders on and work than get involved in all kinds of controversy all the time and things too.
I see it very similar, as in someone that's, you know, they're driven for this job is very important to them. This, you know, applying for this and just having this interview seems extremely important to him.
Yeah.
And that's why he was
Dress for the occasion as well.
Yes.
I apologize. This is from the sewer contract. Now, it talks about this dual seniority in the town. There is the department seniority, which is, you know, if an employee gets transferred, which they both did. They both were highways and then they went into the sewer. And then there's there's town seniority and department seniority. Town seniority would be when they first started, and then the department seniority obviously would be when they did a transfer. As far as the promotion, it says here, it is the intent of the parties to protect insofar as possible the seniority of employees covered by this contract with respect to hiring, transfers, promotion, or layoffs within the department. Hiring, transfers, and promotions will be awarded to the qualified employee within the department having greatest seniority. Such jobs will be posted and will be filled by employees, blah, blah, blah. So, like I said, speaking with Linda and Rainey, Linda's out on vacation this week, and I spoke with Rainey this afternoon, and it is in their opinion that the selection should be to Matt Manzo. But in accordance with this, it does say that to the qualified employee within the department having greatest seniority. In their opinion, you know, believe that they're equally qualified, even though one man's more senior than the other. Okay.
Can I ask you a quick question, Vinny? You may not know this answer. When asked about the next step, you just missed a little bit here. Take you back. We kind of just talked about the application, and if you read, you know, the reasons for looking for the promotion.
Well, one guy just wanted money, the other person said, I want to do blah, 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 blah.
So, you know, and I
He didn't
stated,
just say that. He said other things when he was sitting here.
No, in the application.
No, but in the application itself.
Anybody can write anything in an application. The guy's sitting here and he said other things. Let's not. I mean, give me a break here. The guy's sitting here and he's telling you all kinds of different things, and you look at the application just because he put one line. Maybe somebody had the other guy write the application for him.
Bobby, we can agree to disagree, but if I were in a position and I were looking to better myself, I would throw up all over the table and try to present myself so that you would not want to.
All right, so me, you want applying for this job, right? All right, I'm not a good writer, so I get one of my friends or relatives to put down what one of them put, and you, not a very good writer, and you just put what you put. But you come in for the interview and you both give good reports. I'm not against Matt, I'm not for all, you know,
I got you.
I'm just going with the union thing, that's all I'm trying to tell you.
Right.
I love both of them guys. I wish I could vote for two
Yeah,
guys.
I agree.
But I'm sticking with my thing, that just because one wrote one thing on a piece of paper.
You asked me my opinion of that, I differ
Yeah.
from you, that's all.
You didn't think the first guy did good with his interview?
thought you did fine.
I think
But
both
you,
did.
I thought they both did.
But everybody's bringing up a thing about one little
Well,
thing.
you wrote, you've got a guy
This is,
who,
that's what gets you in the door, is your application.
absolutely. And you also have a guy who took the time
I'm
to
done.
present himself.
I'm done, I don't
Yeah.
wanna hear it.
Okay.
So my question that I was gonna ask
Yes,
you
sorry, yes.
is when was the last time, one said he was studying for a 6, the other one said, well, I could test again. Do you know when the last time he took the test was
I don't
for
know
the
if he-
6?
I don't think Matt has ever taken the exam for
No,
for
no,
the 6,
no.
and I don't believe Victor did either. The requirement is a grade 5.
Well-
It'll never be more than a 5 unless they add, other equipment,
Grade 4, actually.
No, well, the grade,
Yeah, it was 4.
to be a treatment plant
Right.
operator, you have to be a
Yeah,
grade
it's
5.
only 4.
If it says anything other than that, because the plant's changed.
I know, but it's a 4 because the last guy was a 4, because that's who should be the guy at the treatment plant in West Island. That's why this job description was changed, so it's a 4.
But that particular job, you need a 5. You should have to have a grade 5. It's running that plant. West Island has been, it's a grade 4, but to run that plant in the digester, you need a grade 5. Period. If we promote somebody with a 4, we're only gonna apply them to get a 5 in the
No,
not
in
too.
the qualifications for the job, it says grade 4.
Yeah, it does say
From
permanent
once
grade
upon a
4
time.
Commonwealth.
All right.
So the job description needs to
Okay,
be up.
so-
On the question.
Yeah, so I want to call the question. There you go.
There you
Call
go.
the question. That means we have to vote on it now. Is there a motion? to-
Motion to advance Matt Manzone to the treatment plant operator.
Made and seconded?
Well, you jammed me up last time.
No, you can make a motion right now.
All right, I want to make a motion for the most senior man.
Okay, and I will second that. We have to vote on the first motion first. So the motion that we're voting on first is the motion Mr. Watton made, which was to hire
Matt Manzone.
Matt Manzone for the position.
I seconded that.
And it's been seconded. All those in favor? 3, opposed, 1. So I don't think there's a need to vote for yours, do you? You want?
I guess not.
Okay, there you go. So that's who it is.
I just want to say they're both good candidates.
They're both good
I
people,
agree.
I know that.
And I tell you what, Matt had more seniority than this guy.
It would be instantaneous.
In my
We want him
business,
to.
just because you got hired first doesn't mean you're the right person for the job. And whether I believe what the union contract says or not is up to my discretion.
That's the problem in this country right now.
We don't
Because
want
years ago, if you was a veteran, you went in front of everybody.
Wake up, America.
And now they just sneak people in all over the country, right? If you wanted to be a policeman or a fireman or anything, you had veterans preference.
Okay,
That's the problem in this country. They don't want to stand up in the football field with their flag,
that's
right?
right.
Right?
That-
I was
that
a
annoys
coach,
me.
I'd send the freaking guy.
Did you notice last night, and I'm
Whatever,
back.
we're done.
You didn't see anybody on Belichick's team sitting down, did you?
We're done.
You're holding the flag.
One of them, right, one of them was holding the flag.
Amendola, yeah.
Alrighty, we're gonna go to items for action now. Items for action A. This should be an easy one. Pasta House grease
Yeah,
trap.
one of them guys was a veteran.
Okay, Pasta House grease trap. Let me just, if I might, I would hope that we all read the packet before and saw that we've been there a few times. I remember back to the meeting when the gentleman that owns the Pasta House was here. Is his name Mario?
Yes.
Mario.
Yes.
And at that time, he was here because we were talking about having him put a grease trap in. And because his pipe had just been replaced, there was damage to the town's pipe as well, right?
Yeah,
And,
if I may, Mike,
yes.
he had a problem in his parking lot, and we put a line, he put a new line in his parking lot, and then the town also they hired a contractor to put a new line in there. And we had asked that, the Pasta House actually pay for that line.
Yes.
The sewers portion too.
Yes.
And the board voted that, to have the sewer pay for that.
Yes.
Under the stipulation that if this continues, that, you have to address, installing an external grease trap in the future.
Yes.
So we've been there a couple of times, cameraing the line. There's been a couple of backups, and it looks like there's a problem again.
Was he invited tonight?
No,
No.
this is just to talk about it. I was thinking maybe the next time we invite him in.
Yes.
Before we vote?
Right.
Oh, yeah, we're not gonna
I
vote
agree with
tonight.
that. I agree with
It's not a
that.
vote, just like Adam
Just a
Frank.
Yeah.
conversation about it.
Just maybe invite him in and He's either
I
gonna.
was actually shocked to find out they did not have an external grease trap.
Right, well, you know,
They do have a
he-
glorified internal one.
yeah, they
It's not
had,
your normal one, right? It's,
they
if I
had been,
recall, it has like a latch and a whole.
Yeah, they actually,
Yes.
they put something in, I think that your dad had recommended to them at the time, well, that's what he said. And then they also,
Because he was.
They
They
did
also
more.
contracted with a company called Back to Pure. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. Back to Pure is, they starve some type of microbes in an incubator, and then these things are fed drop-wise, depending on the service that you need, and these little critters eat the grease.
Yeah.
And they were, I know they were using that. I don't know if they've discontinued.
Just
quite
in
honestly.
discussion with him, my father, common inspector.
yes.
He said he had recommended an external one back when they were doing the remodel. So I don't know.
Yeah, perhaps.
I don't know
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
that goes, and I don't want to.
No,
Yeah.
no.
I don't want to give comments on that. I don't know what happened. Or
Yeah, well,
whatever.
they,
No, that's what he said the last time, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Not he,
yeah.
the plumbing inspector, he,
Yeah.
last house.
Yeah, and at that meeting, I recall pretty well that, I know I spoke and said that I thought that we should not charge them, that I thought that we should not make them put the external grease trap at that point until such time, just put the new pipe, then we go down there in a few months and with our camera and take a look, and if there was grease in it, then he'd have to put the external grease trap.
Which you
Well-
agreed to.
Which he agreed to.
Okay.
So this is not gonna be a surprise to him. When we went back in a few months, there was grease in it. But not a huge amount of grease, but there was grease. And at that point, we said, well, you know, how about if you try X, Y, Z? You know, try these things, try the, like Vinnie says and stuff. And so he tried that, and we went back a few months later, and it didn't seem to be any worse than what it was. It was actually a little better. So it seemed like, well, maybe, you know, maybe he's gonna be okay. But recently, we've gone a couple of times, most recently, a couple of 2 or 3 weeks ago on a weekend,
Yes.
and it's loaded up with grease. And so it's time, in my opinion, it's time for the external grease trap, and one that's engineered and sized properly and maintained properly so that it'll work. Because it's just gonna ruin the street line, and it's gonna make a mess over here, you know. And that brings me to another thought that I have, which is that, how often, you know, do we check? I know we had the health department in here a while back, when this was all going on. And they don't really have a desire to go and check these things, I think, on a regular basis. They don't have the manpower, I think, to do it, right? I think that's what they expressed at that time.
Said
So-
she had well over 150 locations, if I remember.
Right.
That she has to check, and she just can't
That's
handle it
right,
all herself.
that's right. And that people just, the business owners on their own keep a schedule of when they serviced it and whatever.
Yeah.
And so I think it's time for us to just, you know, make a list of all the establishments that are doing the cooking, that are gonna be making the grease, and get them on a schedule of, make a schedule up of who we're gonna go to, you know? Stick the camera down the pipe and see what's going on, right? So that we're not singling any one person out,
No.
you know?
I mean, this is
There's probably people, I'm sorry.
No, but this is based on our response to them.
Yes.
So, I mean,
I understand.
They brought it to us, if you
No,
will.
I understand, but I think,
I'm pretty sure back when we discussed this, we said we were gonna be monitoring on a,
yes, we
you
did.
know,
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
strict schedule.
Yes.
And we've
Because
been
we
there.
met, we didn't just meet with us, we met with the health department
Yeah.
and the inspector. So we had a pretty big meeting.
So.
So I don't think
that
this
we
is a surprise to me.
No, I think we should invite him in, let him know.
Yeah, I
should
agree.
invite them in, let them know what's going on.
I mean, at the very least, I think we tried every avenue we could to make him not do that.
But yes,
And I mean, I'm a fan of the restaurant. I love it there.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It really
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah,
Yes,
Absolutely,
no.
yeah.
I can't.
And he's a
afford
very
to
nice
go
man.
there.
Yeah. Yeah, so, Kathy,
I
please,
can't afford to go there.
the next meeting, let's see if we can get him on the next meeting.
If I have lunch, I'll go there. I'll be there.
Okay, moving on, items for action B, Bay State Regional Contractors, Tabor Street, payment number 8, which is the final payment of $50,450.88. If you remember back a meeting or two ago, these were the folks that we wanted to make sure that they had made people whole that got damaged from when their pumps failed and so forth. And apparently, according to Vinnie, that everybody's whole.
everybody's been paid.
Everyone's happy?
Everybody's, I don't know if they're happy, but everybody's been paid.
Motion to approve the payment number 8, the final installment Bay State Regional Contractors, $50,450.88.
Seconded by Mr. Lucio. All those in favor? We all sign this?
Yes.
Up here?
Yeah. There's a bunch.
We're gonna sign this right now, folks.
Yeah, you're way ahead of last meeting.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
I was gonna make it, I was actually gonna say, if you want me to say, I was gonna say, listen, I'm gonna limit everybody to 2 minutes of talking,
Yeah.
Brian. Because I got home last week after my
We'll
bedtime.
do that, we'll get a little timer.
6:30, the streetlights.
It rings and you stop talking. They have a show like that, ESPN, right? Pardon the interruption.
Yeah,
It goes, it's 2 minutes, it counts down, and
That's
bell
right.
rings, and
Yeah,
they go to the next
bing,
one.
they go to the next one, whether you
Yeah.
finish it off, there you go. Alrighty, well,
That's a good idea.
the thing, yeah,
No, 2 minutes.
yes, I'm serious, I was gonna do that, but,
You sign this one?
Called the 2-minute drill.
yeah, it's not that. We can go right to the next one, I think. We can sign this and still talk about the next one, right? Stantec Consulting Services, it's an agreement for the investigation of West Island's wastewater treatment facility and effluent disposal wells, and it's for $10,000. And Vinnie will tell you what this is about. You know, we've had an application that we put into the government for how long?
Oh, years.
Years.
We have we put in a permit application for the discharge into the wells at our for the West Island
This is for the
wastewater.
ones down the trails that we kept having problems?
Yeah, well, it's to allow the treatment plant to discharge into the wells. Right. You need a permit. We applied for the permit as part of the application, which we applied for years ago, probably 4 or 5 years ago, if not more. There was an inspection. And as part of that inspection, what the state is requiring, not just here but everywhere, they want an assurance of the sustainability of that treatment plant. That, hey, if we give you this permit, we want to know that the plant's going to be able to treat the effluent X number of years from now. So what they're requiring, not just us, but everyone that has that kind of size plant, they're looking for a plan from an engineer that indicates that the processes that are there have a life expectancy of blank. And if that life expectancy is less than, say, the life of the permit or whatever they assess it to be, then there's going to be a financial plan that's created. Like, so in order to keep this plant going, you're going to need X number of pieces of equipment at X number of costs so that we can plan accordingly to go to town meeting for this much money, year 1, year 2, whatever the results yielded reveal. So that's what this preliminary report would be. We're hiring Stantec, who used to be FST, so they've been, they built that treatment plant back in 50 years ago, whatever the hell it was, so they've been with the town forever, and it's just a contract with them to do an assessment, which is required by the state, so we can get our permit at West Island.
Okay. Who's paying for this?
We are, probably from an old article.
Some-
And then depending on what the results yielded reveal, they say, okay, in order to sustain this, you need blank, then we're gonna have to go to town meeting to get blank. But for this right now, we can get
We
it
have
out
the
of,
funds available?
well, out of an old article, yes.
But either way, you said it's a requirement that we have.
We need to submit, in order for the state to approve the permit, we need to submit to them this plan from an engineer
Okay.
that says this is an assessment of the equipment that's there, and if the assessment reveals that it's no good, what plan B is to
Make it good.
to make it good.
And
And the cost.
and what's gonna keep it good
Correct.
for the years to come.
Motion to enter into agreement with Stantec Consulting Services, amount of $10,000 for the investigation of West Island wastewater treatment facility and the effluent disposal wells.
Second.
Made and seconded, all those in favor? So be it. D, Livesey Park, refuse from football games.
This is just, I know.
Mr. Lucia, do you have anything you want to say about
Is
this?
it in your yard too?
You know what, it's been in my yard for the 5 years I've owned my
That's why you
house.
put up the new fence.
It takes me a good 30 minutes to pick up trash before I mow my lawn.
Yeah,
because I still don't have my side fence, so it blows right in. I mean,
yeah.
it's bad. And I wouldn't even say it's, I mean, I know the football game obviously brings more, but even during non-football seasons, spring to, you know, summertime, the trash is unbelievable. And one of the worst parts that I've seen, because my wife's a cheer coach, they cheer on the, say from an overhead view, the northeast corner of the park, which is Glen Haven and Parker Street, where the picnic tables are. That's where they use the picnic table area. So they stand directly behind those ramps. There's one big ramp in the corner, directly behind the hockey rink, that all the kids stand up on top of. And they just dump their trash. There's just piles of trash as high as this table behind that skate rink. And it's all for the kids of the skate park. Granted, the football teams, I mean, they bring in people throw stuff and drop stuff, and they clean up the best they can after games, and they leave it all in a pile, which is another issue I think we have to address. But a lot of it is from just people using the skate rink, because the skate rink it's bad over there.
Barrels there?
More barrels?
Well,
There's from where the top of the where the kids dump all that trash in that corner, there's a barrel towards the walkway that cuts through behind the baseball field. There's another barrel near the concession stand, and then there's a barrel near Glen Haven Ave. There's not many barrels.
well, there should be a couple more now.
Well, there's
There's
12
Kathy and I-
barrels, actually.
They
There's
added
12.
Kathy and I put this
Yeah,
on.
the blue ones. I saw the
Yeah,
recycles.
we put this on the agenda because the guys who pick up the garbage came to us, and they had indicated that it took them 2 hours, I think it was Friday, to pick up the garbage.
I bet it did.
Right,
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Who's that,
And,
John?
no, the guys who.
Yeah, John.
No, it was Richie and
Richie
Jimmy.
and Jimmy. And they weren't complaining because they realized it's part of their gig. But,
Just
so.
let you know.
Well, yeah, hey, if you've been looking for me for the past 2
Yeah,
hours,
you
here's
haven't
where I've
found me,
been.
it's been behind the skate park.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
So,
you know, I told them to add more barrels, so it wasn't as bad this morning. But the reason why Kathy and I thought this may be good to talk about, we're thinking about, not for this year, but perhaps for next year, perhaps the board would consider requiring the Lizzie folks to put a small dumpster there. So it's just food for thought, you know, the season's already began, so.
We're not charging them to use the fields, right?
No, they give us $100 fee for the concession
For the
stand.
concession.
But I mean, it's costing us way more than $100
And they're not using the
to
lights, so
clean
they're
up.
not paying for the lights or anything.
No.
Right. All the trash is trash that's from the concession stuff, right?
Oh no, not all of it.
Not all of it, but
Like I said, those kids at the skate park, they make a pile behind that ramp. Because even the cheer coordinator has taken pictures and sent it to me, like, hey, what can we do about this? And I'm like, they added more barrels, and it's just kids being teenagers and throwing stuff wherever they want. It's inconsiderate people. That's really what it is. But I have to say, you know, after they had the game before Labor Day, it was the day before. And they packed up all the trash concession stand, and they put it near the barrel, and it was piled up because, like you said, they didn't have a place to put it. So the dumpster would probably be a good idea if they had a dumpster at least for just the season, for their home games. But a lot
was
of
there a
it,
game there yesterday?
there was a game there yesterday.
There was.
Yeah, but a lot of the trash that blows around the park, I have to say, is not from Pop Warner. It's on a daily basis. That skate park it's filthy. The kids stuff stuff under the ramps just to not even bother walking.
How
You know,
often,
they skate back and forth 1,000 times, but to walk 50 feet to a barrel is just an inconvenience for some reason.
how often
Or
we
if we
pick
put
up
a
the trash?
concrete cap to the.
Huh?
Mondays and
Mondays and Fridays.
Maybe we ought to go Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Well,
If you put a barrel in the middle of the skate park, they just jump over it. They wouldn't even put trash in it. Like, they use it like an obstacle. They had a tree branch that's been there for like a week, and they dragged it in the middle of the park. They were jumping over it, like to do tricks around it.
So requiring the football to put a dumpster there, that's not actually, it's not really their trash.
but from the concession
Only from the
stand,
concession, yeah,
there's
from
trash in the
concession,
concession.
which I discussed that with the cheer.
So a
coordinator.
locking dumpster.
Yeah.
So that way
Yes, right,
people aren't
just
just
for
throwing
them.
stuff, just for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they'd have a key like inside the concession. They'd have access to.
Because
it.
like I have a dumpster in my shop, it came with a lock and you
Right.
can't,
Yeah.
so.
My only concern with a dumpster is when people see dumpsters, they have the assumption that I can put something next to it and it'll
Yeah.
just disappear.
Get picked up.
They'll pick it up with it, you know. That's the only thing I worry about with a dumpster. But I think they need one for, like you said, for game days because they have a lot of trash just from concession. they do clean up the area, they pick up the snow fences and they pick up trash, but it's kind of a combination of them and, you know, the skate park and people that use the park on a daily basis as well.
Well, I don't see any reason why we shouldn't, you know, for next year, we're not gonna do it this
No,
year.
no.
But for next year,
You can do it.
look into it. And-
Yeah.
and-
In the
I
meantime,
agree.
we had another barrel or two over near the skate park and pick up one more day a week.
I mean, if more people are utilizing the park.
Oh, it's a good thing.
That's a good
We're just
thing.
trying to
So if we have to step up and get a dumpster or whatever, or put more barrels out, that's what we should be doing.
I think we definitely need more barrels, especially on the skate park area, but I think the dumpster's a good idea for next season. I think a dumpster's a great idea for next season.
Yeah.
That's good.
Maybe we could, you know, Harvey, you know this, the local police, you know, do they have youngsters that you know, that get in trouble, but they want to just give them community service?
Yeah, you know what? I'm sorry. I think a Boy Scout group.
Boy Scout
trooping. They had approached either the football coordinator or the cheer coordinator. They made some reference to, you know, if they needed assistance on game days or something. And I said, I hope he said yes, because
Well, they have
it'd be great.
Yeah.
They have the trial court, but I don't know if you want them people to.
No, let's keep it with the Boy Scouts for now. Let's
Yeah.
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 We don't want to be doing Cory checks. Then we pick up trash. You know.
Right, okay.
But the trial court, they do a good job.
Oh, no, I agree.
They go down to Town Beach, Humphrey Landing, and different
Yeah.
places, side of
That's
the
it.
road.
Yeah,
and,
I agree.
The guards there watching them, and they do a good job, really.
I've seen them at the park before, actually. Not during a game day or anything, but.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was just wondering if, you know, if youngsters that get in a little bit of trouble that are good kids and they get community service. And,
All my nephews.
yeah, it'd be good to get them over there. But, okay. Alrighty, moving along, board members, superintendent, old business, new business. I'll go first if that's okay. West Island Bridge, we want to talk about the bridge, the water pipe. That's the first thing we're gonna do, right?
Yes.
Is that on the schedule yet, or?
Oh, yeah. They're gonna start, now that the season's over, pretty soon. I don't have the start date yet, but, within the next couple of weeks.
Beautiful.
Yes.
And how about the bridge work itself? What
The
about
bridge
that?
work itself,
You tell me June or something?
well, I wanted to get it, I wanted to get it done. And I didn't wanna sort of clog everything up. That's, roughly speaking, it's about $300,000 worth of work. So, I want, you know, we gotta apply for that money, get it approved, and then it's gonna
He
be cold
basically
pretty
said
soon.
last meeting that they couldn't do both together.
Right.
No, because it would be a
No, I'm not-
traffic nightmare.
One would be in the way of the other.
Yeah, it'd be a traffic nightmare.
Hey, Ken, the only other thing I wanted to say was just more information for the board. You know, a pet thing of mine has been the path, the walk, the
Like that?
bike path work over at Squanicut Neck. And that's finally, why don't I just let you talk to that, if you would?
Well, I get all the final numbers with that. We have the plans. We have, it looks like it's about $600,000 worth of
I
work.
can't understand how
Which is-
$600,000.
Well, it's a lot of it's
To put
millions.
up some dividing lines.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to look to do is, I met with representatives from the Mass Municipal Association, and in English, those people are the lobbyists, and they represent the different communities, and they'll go to senators and reps and whoever, you know, they can get the ear of, to put more money into, you know, Chapter 90, put more money into this. And there's actually a small bridges account that I don't think we apply for, because even though that bridge is a small bridge, the application requires it to be a little smaller than that, but that's not gonna stop me from applying, because I'll let
Talk to Ross.
them say no.
What do you mean, bridge?
I
He's back in West
was
Island.
thinking of the causeway, the causeway. It's
Yeah.
fine, yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna put
All of a sudden, I'm thinking about putting up this bridge that goes over David Drive.
I'm sorry, I was thinking about that, the bridge first. As far as that, yeah, with as far back as, you know, as we'd like to go pavement wise, it's just gonna cost some dough. So also with the MMA folks.
So it includes basically repaving where the school stopped back
Yeah,
up to
like
where
to
the state
speed.
just stopped.
Yeah.
Yes.
That whole segment, okay.
Yeah, narrowing
It's
the
not,
road.
it's not
It's
just
not
It's
just
not
for
just the
the-
lines.
throwing
it's
some new
curves.
painted lines with the flashing.
Yeah,
No.
it's, changing,
But-
the road has to get a little.
The MMA folks also made me aware of some transportation money that may be available as well, so I'm gonna seek that, and, we're gonna do those things.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to blow $1 million out of the chapter 90, because roughly that's all we have left.
So they're going to, the plan is to narrow that with a bike path crosses?
Yes, yeah, I mean, I got the plans if you wanna look at.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
got-
for all practical purposes, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They want to prevent people from being able to pass
They
around,
wanna
right?
make.
Yeah, oh yeah, those people that say, okay, go ahead with your family, and then this
Yeah.
guy whips by on the right.
Yeah, by the right.
There you go,
Yeah.
that's, yeah, there you go.
That's what they want to stop.
Yes.
And mind you, this has been like 4 years in the making.
Well, we have to.
To
we
get
have
to this point.
Yeah, we have to get it approved and,
The state.
Traffic
has to get involved.
The
studies.
state, yeah. Oh, yeah, I've heard all about
we have
that.
to get the money approved and then we have to have the study and now we get the results.
Yeah. Not enough accidents or deaths.
To be honest with you.
Chairman almost took out a selectman one day.
We were actually having the meeting with the selectmen coming
To
here.
talk about
To
it.
talk about that bike path. When I was late for the meeting, and so instead of being patient and waiting for the car in front of me to turn left, I went to pass him on the right. But he wasn't taking a left, he was letting the selectmen cross the street there. And I almost ran him over.
Since
I
then,
said,
we've
sorry,
had-
and I didn't recognize
Was that
it.
part- was that part
But when
of the
I
plan?
pulled it
Came
into
in
our
with his green outfit on.
I pulled it
You
into our
see?
C-spin and he was riding his bike and I said, oh my God, this thing I almost ran over.
Since then, we've had the flashing,
Yeah.
push button solar lights installed.
Well, at least he knew the sense of urgency after that.
Yeah, well, you know, it made it easy for him to come here and say, hey, we need this.
Mhm.
You know,
Just lost a couple of pounds on the way.
a couple of years over the life. All right, that's all I have. Mr. Hobson?
Oh, I got a couple of things. First of all, I spoke about this before, about Mr. Reese and the back taxes and the back waters and sewer fees. And you were supposed to get together with him.
We've talked,
Because in the city of New Bedford and Acushnet, if they put your name in the paper and your old back taxes, 46% of the people pay because they see their name in the paper. Well, the town of Fairhaven's over $1 million in back taxes and water and sewer fees. Nobody's going after them. And my taxes, your taxes keep going up because these people don't pay. And nobody's even trying to go after it. So Mr. Reese said to me, if we got the people that owed their water and sewer fees and haven't paid for over a year, he would like to combine it with the back taxes and do like New Bedford and Acushnet did, and put their names in the paper and how much they owe. And I'm not saying they're gonna foreclose on your house or nothing, but you're gonna have to make arrangements with the town to pay your taxes or pay your water sewer fees.
I agree with that.
Right.
yeah, I met with them.
Yeah.
They have all those records down there because we don't accept the payments here.
Yeah, but I
So-
mean, it's like trying to get somebody to do it. So he told me to see you.
Well, I
saw
don't believe
him.
I don't believe I have the authorization. I've spoken to him about it, but I don't believe I have the authorization to do that.
Well, he's telling me that he'd like to do it together with you.
Oh,
So
yeah, I
if somebody
told him-
owes back taxes, there's
So-
a
so
person in town that owes $80,000 in
Yeah.
back taxes, he doesn't pay them. Plus water and sewer fees. I mean, what are we doing here?
There's people that owe that much to the town, and they sit on an elected board.
Well, whatever, your back taxes, you owe sewer
They
fees.
lost their land due to that, but we let them make
We're not asking
decisions
them to
on
lose
behalf
their
of the
land or their property, we're asking them to come to the town, make arrangements to pay your taxes. If you don't, we're gonna put your name in the paper.
Right.
I'm tired about that.
I have no
Pretty
issue with that.
46% of the people pay after they see their name in the paper.
I have no issue with that.
You know, right. So we'll.
So if he could get together with Mr. Reese
Yeah.
and move this thing forward, because this is like slow motion, this thing.
Yeah, we've been talking about this for a couple of years now.
Yeah,
I know.
I mean, somebody's gotta step up and do it.
Yeah, if I'm allowed to do it, I'll do it.
I'll make a motion to authorize you to get together.
I don't
with
know,
him.
yeah, that's great if you guys allow me, I just don't know
Well,
if I'm allowed to.
then if he doesn't wanna do it, invite him to one of our meetings.
Yeah, that's what
Tax
I,
collector.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
not,
Yeah,
It's what?
he might,
No, it's
he
the-
might say to you,
it's
Vinnie,
a tax collector in town.
yeah, he might say to you that you have the authorization to do it.
Yeah.
He's telling me that he will do it, but he wants to get
He
the
has
water and sewer fees in with it. That's what he told me.
Yeah, which is fine.
So Vinnie will contact him and find out what they gotta do to get this rolling.
Yeah, that's fine.
What else you got here?
Yeah,
Do we need to make a motion for that? or-
I've been bringing that up for a long time, but I ain't getting nowhere.
No, but I've spoken to him, yeah, go ahead. The
What did he
board-
tell you?
The boy, yeah, okay, well, Hoppy asked me about that. Yeah, we're looking into that. I
All right.
spoke to Wendy, blah, blah,
He's
blah,
gonna
blah,
look
blah.
into 6 months, a year,
So we
2
want
years?
to, we want to make water and sewer delinquencies public record.
Yeah,
That's the goal. Okay,
fine with me.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I could care less.
Okay, that's one.
It's actually better for the rates.
Right.
More money we have
The
coming
rates
in.
might go down.
That's the point of it.
Well, don't say that. They won't go up.
Well, they might go down.
No, those are swear words. They won't go up.
That's number one. How about
They-
the digester? We got anything
They'd be
going?
less likely to increase.
No, we have to wait till town meeting.
Town meeting.
We have to wait till town meeting. We got a, what do you call it? The Muffin Monster's in. We want to add some clean outs there. We want to install the Muffin Monster. And whenever this town meeting is, we're gonna ask for money to make that so, and then we should.
Because every day this is down, we're spending money.
We're not saving money, yes, yes.
All right, we're done with that one. The last thing was, we're gonna get back to the vote on the phone. He said he wanted to get back to it.
No, I don't want to get back to it,
He
no.
just wanted his
I wanted my
comment
wording
changed.
corrected in the minutes from last meeting.
His word, he felt
I
that his
thought he
word
wanted
was
to make
wrong.
rules on it or something.
Yeah, you did.
No,
I
that's,
did it in the minutes, but it was a little, a couple of sentences in there, and it isn't exactly what I said.
Okay.
That's all. I just
she said
wanted,
short.
And by the way,
Alright.
Jared's the only one that gave me any comments about how you wanted to set that up.
overachiever,
You
sorry.
said you were gonna
We said we
give
were
me some
gonna,
notes on how
we
you were
were
gonna do
gonna
that.
email Kathy, you guys forget that already?
I did.
Put that at the next meeting.
Well, you gotta give it to me before.
We said we were
then.
gonna do it for this meeting,
Okay.
last meeting.
She's not here, so we didn't do it yet.
Okay.
We were gonna give notes to
You were gonna give me
Yeah,
some
you
rules
give your
and
comments on
regulations
the
of
rules.
how it should
Okay,
work.
well, you know what, I'm sorry, I forgot that, I will do that, I'll do that right
If you could email that to
away.
me, that would be wonderful.
I'll have them to you within the next 2 days.
Okay, thank you.
Excuse me for not having done, I forgot it.
So just so you don't single me out next time, just say, I haven't
Yeah.
received all of your.
Yes, Mr. Watt.
I just wanted to talk about the weeds that are growing out of our new pavement sidewalks from Sconneconeck to Mattapoisett. One, the state can come address it, and we are
Yep.
multi-million-dollar project, doesn't look like crap. And also I wanted to talk about the overgrowth from people's lots growing into the sidewalks that aren't cleared, such as the area directly across from East Fairhaven School. I believe it's for sale. It's to the right of the old, I don't know what the liquor store was called there. It used to be
Oh,
called
yeah.
Jepson's years
I know,
ago.
I know what you mean.
That overgrowth from that parking lot is
Shaw's Cove.
Shaw's Cove, yeah.
To the
It's
right
not
of
those people, but there's a little entrance with some blocks in front of it that went to a little abandoned parking lot for that property. Well, that overgrowth has come so far into the sidewalk that I saw a guy step off the sidewalk into Route 6 to go around it, where that crooked telephone pole is over there. That, the guy almost got killed. He didn't even look back. He just jumped out and went around.
I think we can cut the first 8 feet.
Well, I don't think we should. I think that we should send a letter to the property owner and let them know that they're obstructing the sidewalk, that they should maintain it.
I'll send a letter to the property owner, and the other thing, I'll get in contact with the
Yeah.
state.
Is it the same owner as the Shaw's Cove building?
I don't
Is that a
believe
different
so.
lot? Because I know you're talking about, they put stone, there used to be an entrance, almost like a parking lot. The police used to sit there and catch
They
people
used to
speeding.
sit there. It's not the same
The
because
stones.
I grew up in the neighborhood behind it, and that's always been like that.
Mhm.
But it used to be clear.
Yeah.
But they maintain, even though that liquor store's abandoned, that lot's still maintained, so I think it's a different owner. It may be the same, but I don't think it is. But I think we should take a look at that throughout town, where we do have public sidewalks and abandoned lots for overgrowth that are impeding the sidewalk traffic, because that's huge. Specifically that area, because there's a lot of kids that are now riding their bikes over in that area to get back home. Now that the schools are, promoting the bike buses and different things. That's a very dangerous section of Route 6 for kids to be on, never mind having to deal with that overgrowth. It's all prickly bushes.
This is good. You're in East Fairhaven, he's in North Fairhaven.
Yeah, we're not all Sconneconeck and West
I know,
Island, right?
that's
Yeah.
good.
Mr. Lucian.
We're spread out. Actually, well, we discussed, one of my topics was all the waste at Liberty Park and a solution. And I had talked to, like I said, the cheer coordinator and made a suggestion about a dumpster. And we already brought that up, so that's one thing that's going to be addressed. And also just the parking around there. I had sent Vinny a text it was the Sunday before Labor Day, and this woman from Rhode Island, she parked basically flush with my driveway, maybe a little bit overhanging. I just said, hey, I'm not gonna be able to turn out my driveway, and that just set off this, I mean, vulgar, just everything. She just started throwing at me, and I said, all I said to her, I repeated it numerous times. I said, I just don't want anyone to hit your car, because I let people that are close friends, like their kids play football, my daughter cheers, I let them park in my driveway because you can't find anywhere to park. So I said, I have friends and family use my driveway. I don't want someone to hit your car. She kept going, swearing, whatever. I said, I just don't want someone to hit your car. I said that like 3 or 4 times, and I just went in the house because I don't want an altercation. I don't want to read, BPW, Haven has, brawl in the front yard with people from her. I didn't want that, so I just went in the house, and I just listened to her yell and scream from the street. So I texted Vinny and just asked about clearances on the driveways and parking, and I don't know if it was 3 feet or 5 feet.
It's 5 feet.
5 feet.
5 feet.
You can call the police department, they'll have a tow.
Yeah, I just, and
You
that was,
wanna go to
that
that
was,
one?
that was the first thing she said. My
Tell me.
boyfriend said you'd have my car towed, and I just said, well, why would you park there? Because he thought that might have been an issue.
Right.
But one of the main issues is that you literally, I can't get out of my driveway very easily. I make like an 8-point turn to get out. But people park all over the grass, up at the top near Oxford School. They come down that street, they park on the grass over there behind the playground. People park on the grass near the concession stand. And then now they're parking over near the picnic area too on the grass. So people just kind of fan out wherever they can find a spot.
Doesn't it say no parking?
Nobody reads signs.
Yeah. Yeah, John's gonna look at the parking, which is just south of.
Yeah, so I mean, that kind of brings me back to, I know I mentioned at a past meeting, maybe possibly putting a parking area between the hockey rink and the basketball court, making that where Dudley Street intersects with Glenhaven, making that a 4-way intersection, that could be an entrance to a parking lot. Like Cushman Park has a parking lot, and I said, other towns and cities have parking lots for their parks. So just a suggestion, something I thought to maybe get more cars off the street and have a designated parking area, because some of my neighbors have complained too, and they're trying to get out of their driveways and somebody's parked directly across the driveway. It's happening to make a turn, so that's it.
I asked John. John's very good at making like schematics and things like that, so I asked him to take a look at that. I went, but he can draw it out, and then we'll have to just ask for the money to do it.
And maybe we
it's an
can,
underutilized, sorry, Jack. It's an underutilized spot there.
yeah, it really is. They don't use it for anything, because like the girls practice on one area, football's all the way across.
It's
in
the
big open
biggest
field.
park in town, there's plenty of area there.
Right.
Yeah, so like I said, it's that section. You have the concession stand, the basketball courts, and the hockey rink, and your entrance would be from Glenhaven. It's just nobody utilizes that space at all. So it's an ideal location for parking, and also people can drive there and they walk right to the football game. So it's, and with that, it would kind of solve. It would kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I mean, we could put stop signs, crosswalks, safe travel for pedestrians and all that stuff. Will kind of slow down the traffic if people flying by and kid from.
So we're doing a traffic study there?
We'll do some parking lot. So it's just a matter of,
But could we
sketching it out and then getting it.
Yeah,
Can you do crosswalks without a traffic study?
I don't think so, because that's what I'm saying.
Well,
Yeah, but I think that when you
Well,
put
when
a
you
parking
do-
lot there, notifying the police ahead of time to put a parking lot, they'll improve our sidewalk there.
Yeah, that's what I mean, when you're doing new construction, because I know with Shannon Meadows, they put the development in, and then they did a 3-way intersection, raised speed bumps, crosswalks. That was a stipulation of the development. So a stipulation of the parking lot could be to, have an intersection there, crosswalks and stop signs.
You're talking about Oliver Street?
Yeah, all of them. They added that in there. Oliver
chicane?
and,
The chicane.
Oliver and Minor.
He texted me today.
Did,
You have anything you
no, do you have anything from me at all, other than?
That's it.
No.
Alrighty, let's set a date for the next meeting. So the 26th?
Yes.
Already, huh?
Isn't that awful? So, I'll just move that pen back here on the table. So we'll.
Motion to set the next date of the meeting, September 26, 2016, 6 PM at the Florida Public Works Building.
Second.
Made and seconded, all those in favor? Alright, Brian?
Motion to go into executive session and not reconvene in open session to discuss union negotiations.
Second. All those in favor, it's a roll call, it's Mike Fisher, all those.
Brian, one in favor.
Thank you, folks.